Good evening, everybody. Oh, let's see. Did my... Yeah, okay. I have sound. That's good. Hang on a second. Okay, I was just double checking for a second. um, it's been a while since I've streamed. It feels like it's been like 4 weeks or something, but it's only been a week. I missed a couple of streams. Well, I guess was it yes, about a week. I guess maybe a little bit longer than a week, but I missed a week. I had some things going on I had to take care of, and I couldn't stream. So we unfortunately missed the last opportunity to do this Guild Wars, but we're getting to do it now. So we'll get started here in a second. Kind of want to explain what's going on here. So this is actually the third week of doing this. So the first week we played 4 different decks that were each 2 color pairs, and then the second week we did the same thing except they were completely different ones. And so now the final week we have the 2 winners from the previous 2 weeks, and then 2 more decks that haven't been played. They're the last 2 of the 10 color combinations. So the ones that won, this is one of them, Jori En, this red-blue guy here. He's the deep down, dark deep down. He's sea monsters, so it's amazing that this deck actually, man, I was concerned that this deck would be a kind of a weaker one, but apparently it can kind of slow burn itself into a victory if it's given enough time. The other winner was Trostani, which is a house favorite, actually. Tons of populate mechanic. There's a stack of tokens to try to cover all of the possible tokens that deck can create. And then we actually, in addition to that, have not infinite tokens, but the just some cards that are dry erase that we can mark on to make other things, because Mimic Vat is a thing, and we can populate tokens of weird things if we want to. So those are the 2 winners. The 2 decks that are joining us are decks that they got seeded essentially because I'm kind of afraid of the 2 of them overpowering other decks. Now Trostani is a pretty strong deck, but some of the other decks that were out there may not be quite as aggressive or quite as resilient as these 2. So the first one, which will go second, is it's an Orsov deck, so white black, and it's legendary reanimator. So it's focused on reanimation effects. It uses partners. What is it? Ravos and Tymna. So it has those 2 partners as their commanders. It can be really devastating with the right legendary creatures out. So I was kind of afraid of them sort of taking over, but even more so than that, the final deck for tonight is a Golgari build for Varolz the Scar Striped. And I've specifically tuned it to be really, really good. And I kind of wanted it to make sure it got played, because even though it's a little bit more powerful than, well, and we'll see how powerful it is, but even though it's a little bit more powerful, I just like what it does, and it is technically a guild leader of Ravnica, so it makes sense to go ahead and play it when we're doing a bunch of guild wars. But it's really strong with the ability to make its commander, it's basically Voltron its commander into a really quick victory. And we'll actually see that. We're going to see maybe possibly a turn 3 or 4 kill out of Varolz based on the hand that I just saw. So let's go and get started, though. We'll see where we end up. So with Jori En, the hand that I started with isn't too bad. It doesn't have any red mana, which kind of sucks, but we do have 3 different blue mana sources, which is really good for this deck because it's very blue heavy. Especially as we can see here, we have Cryptic Command in our hand, and this Mystic Speculation is what's going to get us into being able to find the land that we need. And then thankfully we do have a removal spell once we get that red mana. So let's go ahead and get started. And we have Molten Psyche. So I guess we'll just keep this in hand and see where it goes. For now, we'll just go ahead and play one of our islands, and then pass to the Reanimator pair over here. So with them, the hand that I started with is an okay one. It's not a great one. We're a little mana heavy, like the last one. But thankfully, we do have our mass removal spell, which exiles everything that isn't legendary. And then we do have Fira, Judge of Valor, which can be really good. If we can play multiple spells in a turn, we can start filling up our graveyard with stuff to reanimate. So I'm kind of hoping that we maybe survive long enough to be able to do some of that. So let's go and see our first card. It's a swamp, not great. Let's go and play that swamp. Basically, we're going to try to get out Tymna on turn 3 and then go after people with her so we can start drawing more cards than other players. Trostani, unfortunately, you may have seen me shuffling a little bit earlier. Trostani, of course, could have had a better hand. The first hand that I shuffled up had both Birds of Paradise and Soul Ring, so it had crazy mana generation. But unfortunately, it was for naught because I didn't draw any lands. So I couldn't play anything of them, even if I wanted to. We are starting with 4 lands this time, not the colors that not enough of the colors that we're going to want to see, but at least we have something to do starting early turns. We can start making beasts with Kazandu Tuskcaller if we need to. And that will actually feed into our Grove with the Guardian. But then otherwise we do have some quick token making if we need, and a removal piece for shenanigans. So, our first card for the turn is Mentor of the Meek. That's pretty good. I'm trying to remember. Well, we're probably not going to get as much out of that one as we want because we are going to play Kazandu Tuskcaller first because we do want to power it up ASAP, essentially. So we will pass to the next hand, which is Varolz. So let's go ahead and start talking about Varolz here. Varolz is really good at really cheap reanimation and enough ramp to get Varolz out really quickly. So Varolz's ability is really special. It makes each creature in your graveyard have the scavenge ability, which means that we can remove it from the game and put counters on a creature equal to whatever its power was. So we play really cheap creatures that have big drawbacks, but also have really big power toughness values. So we have a couple of land, and we have an elf to be able to get Varolz out turn 2. And then in hand, we have Death's Shadow. So yeah, we're essentially going to... we're going to immediately get +13/+13 on turn 3. So we'll have a 15/15 Varolz dealing commander damage. So the rest of our hand, Animate Dead, Pack Rat, and Apocalypse Demon. I haven't quite cared so much for Apocalypse Demon, but the ability to have its power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your graveyard can be really useful if we ended up having to go for a long game and we can just out of nowhere kind of blindside somebody with a big power and toughness value. Because essentially, since its ability here is a characteristic defining ability, which means that no matter where it is, that ability counts. So if you had a card that was like search your library for a creature with power 3 or less, right, and put it into your hand, Apocalypse Demon, when you go looking through your library, will have whatever power and toughness its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. So as you resolve that spell, what the number of cards in your graveyard is what Apocalypse Demon's power and toughness will be when you go searching through your library. So you may not be able to pick it up because you have too many cards. Let's see. Our first card is Nature's Claim. It's going to be really good. Again, kind of shenanigan killer if we need to. We will take 2 damage to be able to play this out, to play Overgrown Tomb out because we really want to get Arbor Elf out on turn 1. So we'll be at 38. And then Arbor Elf, so next turn will be Ghost Quarter and Overgrown Tomb for Varolz. And then showdown begins. We'll see if it if it takes over. I did a little playtest before, a little playtest last week in preparation for this, just to make sure that Varolz wasn't going to totally stomp everybody. It got very, very close, actually. It killed off one player, I believe, but then it was overtaken by everybody else. So I have hopes that we're not going to get screwed here. An island. So again, not quite what we want to see, but I guess we'll take it. We'll go and play Seed of the Synod here. There's some artifact shenanigans in this deck, so I want to be sure to have that out. So next turn, if we don't draw a mountain, we're going to go and play Mystic Speculation and see what we have on the top, and maybe put away some things that we don't need. The next, so a Legendary Reanimator. I keep wanting to say Legacy Reanimator, which isn't really accurate because Legacy is barely a format at this point. Elshnorn, Grand Cenobite. That's what we want to see. I mean, we're going to we're going to try to discard it out of our hand, but let's go ahead and play a swamp, and then we will pass the turn. We're a little slow on our build up on black-white, and that's just because of the cards that are in the deck, basically. It's meant to have as many legendary cards as I could possibly fit into a deck, so, or at least that I had available. Yavimaya Elder, that's definitely a card that we want because we're gonna, well, crap, we can't even play it yet. Okay, oh well. We're gonna pay 2 and play Kazandu Tuskcaller, and we will probably power it up next turn and just hope. Like I said, the cool thing will be if we can get up to the mana that we need to do Grove of the Guardian, so that we can suddenly pump out an 8/8, an 8/8 with Vigilance. Let's see. So Varolz again, untap, draw a card. A forest, not too bad. Let's go and play that forest actually, and we will do this. We'll Arbor Elf to untap a forest so that we can play Varolz. See, and the cool thing here is that even if, like, we won't be able to do the shenanigan that we want to, if somebody tries to kill Varolz right now. But if somebody tries to kill Varolz, his ability to sacrifice another creature to regenerate is really good with single, like elf ramp cards or Bird of Paradise or something like that. So, yeah, we're looking pretty right now. So Jori En, the Rune Diver goes, and we got Ominous Sea. Wells. I mean, we want to get that started, so let's go ahead and play it. I don't necessarily want to not have... Well, I don't know. It seems like the sooner we get it out, the better. So I'm going to go and... Well, no. I'm caught in the decision here. Yeah, let's just... I want to get the red mana so that we can do Jori... Like, we can do something like Jori En and then cast a second spell on the same turn. So let's go ahead and Mystic Speculation. We'll scry 3 and see what happens. So our top cards are not not great cards. Let's see. Man, these are all like really good though. That's the problem. Crap. I mean, we really... This could be a really big game changer. But because this card could set other people off really easily with heavy mana requirements. I'm looking over there at Trostani going, yeah, Trostani could probably get screwed really badly by Quicksilver Fountain. I think though, maybe I do have to get rid of some cards. How many... We don't have quite enough lands to play Servant of Yawning Depths. I don't really want it on bottom, though. It's a 6/6 that allows things that you control to not be blocked if they're basically any kind of sea creature. Crap. I think I just have to put them on bottom, unfortunately, because I really need that red mana and to get going. Because it's going to getting Jori En out allows me to power into, you know, like drawing extra cards as many times as I can, and I also need this removal spell to be able to be active when I, you know, because like this would have been a turn if I had drawn a red land right now, then I could have been able to take care of Varolz. But unfortunately, since I can't do that, I'm just gonna have to hope that Varolz doesn't kill me. So let's go ahead and back to the reanimator. We have another big creature, so we do want something to be able to dump the cards in our hand and then reanimate. So let's go ahead and try to get there with Tymna. Okay, I will pass the turn. And Trostani is almost certainly going to just power up here unless it just draws like the... If it just draws the best card, you know, see, Soul Ring. I mean, sorta. not quite, but sorta, I guess. I think we'd play Soul Ring and then go ahead and tap 2 to level up our Kazandu 1 level. And then we, I guess, Rogue Passage. Unfortunately, we don't really have much of other choice in the matter. We don't have anything colorless that we can deal with, so let's go ahead and pass and take our comeuppance for not having something to deal with Varolz. So untap, draw a card, and it is Myriad Landscape. Ouch. So let's go ahead and put that into play tapped. We are going to tap a green, or tap for black. We are going to play Death Shadow, which immediately dies because it's 13 minus, or I should say it gets -X, where X is our life total, and our life total is hilariously big. So yeah, Death Shadow dies. We use Arbor Elf to untap that, tap that one more time, I mean the Overgrown Tomb, and we will exile the Death Shadow to put 13 counters onto our Varolz. Now that means that we have Nature's Claim back up if we need to. We can't do anything else right now, but yeah, that should be good. Okay. So I think next turn probably what we'll do is we'll Myriad Landscape, and maybe play Backrat, I'm thinking. Okay, let's see. So who do we attack? I don't necessarily care too much for the blue deck being able to return Varolz to our hand, but I'm not really sure what they're capable of. I do know, basically, since I haven't played anything, and the other thing being that they scried 3 cards to the bottom, so they're obviously searching for something, and it could be red mana. Now, evaluating what other people have, Tymna is almost certainly going to attack me regardless of who I attack, but just drawing a single card each turn isn't going to... Like, I could two-shot them no matter what. Now, the Trostani is a big problem because I don't have Trample yet for Varolz. So I'm thinking that Trostani may get the first hit because they're not going to block with Kazandu Tuskcaller. And... it may take a while before I can do anything about Trostani, since they'll be able to put out a token each turn for free. So I think that we attack Trostani this turn for 15, which they're going to go ahead and take. And that means that they are at 25 life, which puts them really far down all of a sudden. Okay. That's all I can do, so I'm going to go ahead and pass to Jori En. So let's see that red mana so we can do something about Varolz. Untap, draw a card. Winds of Change. Still no bloody. Bloody. Okay. I think this is the turn that we go and play Ominous Sea. And we just... Well, do we do that now? Really? I think we... Let's see. Yeah, I guess I just hold up with Cryptic Command just in case. I don't... Yeah, I have 7 cards in hand. Yeah, so Cryptic Command, I can counter a spell. I can do something else useful, like return Varolz to their hand. So, let's see. I think we are going to Legacy Reanimator. Gonna untap, draw a card. Kuro Pit Lord. That would be really good to have all of a sudden. So let's... Well, do we want to play that yet? No. Okay. Let's go ahead and do what I said that was going to happen, and it's deal 2 damage to our pal Varolz over there, which means that we are going to gain some life and then lose some life to draw a card. So we're going to gain 2 life from Tymna's lifelink and then lose a life for her other ability to draw an extra card for the turn, and it is a swamp. Let's see. So we have 9 cards in hand, but we are going to get pummeled. Can we even do anything about that? We do need to play a land this turn, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're probably going to get hit, though. So let's go ahead and... Let's see. Let's go and pass. We'll put Elshnorn into our graveyard. It's generally a really good choice to get rid of things. I mean, like, get rid of into our graveyard so we can reanimate some other turn. But let's go ahead and pass back over to Trostani. And Trostani is going to untap, draw a card. It's a Plains, not what I wanted to see. Okay. We need that green mana. We absolutely need that green mana. So let's go ahead and we'll play Mentor of the Meek. We're not going to be able to get his ability yet, but we will go ahead and pay 2, and then we'll put another counter on Kazandu Tuskcaller. Which means that we at least have a infinite blocking for Varolz as long as they don't get trample. And if they get trample this turn, then we're just screwed because they're absolutely going to kill us. Varolz will absolutely murder-late. Okay. Untap, draw a card. And it is not trample, but is it something that we can... Let's see. If we play this... Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's play Rogue's Passage because we actually can. So we are going to, because this does tap for a mana. Okay, so that's 3 and then tap for 4. Tap Rogue's Passage to give Varolz unblockable. And Varolz can now kill Trostani, so that's what it's going to do. We're going to declare an attack. Now, here's really the question. The big question is... Does Jori En help Trostani not lose the game right here and now? And it's a really big question. Because, honestly, there's no reason that Jori En should care about Trostani, not necessarily. You know, like, competitively speaking... one less player for Jori En is better in the long run. It's one less player to have to deal with. It's one less player that could screw up their plans. But on the flip side of that, I generally don't... the reason I don't play this deck generally is because of this exact thing, being able to take somebody out on your 4th turn. And I don't... So since I don't play that way necessarily, I don't play this deck... And I'm also often inclined to help save somebody if they're about to lose the game. I kind of do want to see a more full game here. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do this. You can't see it's slightly off camera here. So we're going to tap 4 mana. We're going to go ahead and Cryptic Command. So we will return Varolz to its owner's hand. And then we will draw a card, which was the red mana that we needed. Holy crap, that's awesome. Okay, well, there you go. So let's see. Do they have too many cards? No, they don't. So now what's going to happen is that now Trostani is kind of indebted to Jori En. They've kind of become brother in arms now, at least in terms of I just saved Trostani from losing the game, so maybe Trostani will help me when it comes to somebody else trying to kill me. And I have made an enemy out of the Varolz deck, but the good thing here is that Chaos Warp is the other removal that we need to be able to do something, and Varolz won't be able to attack us next turn until, like, they'll have to play Varolz, and then it'll be another turn before they can do anything to me. So we're going to go ahead and take this hand because Varolz is tapped out and everything. So we'll draw a card for the turn. It's an island. Oh well. Mountain. So we will pay 3. We'll play Jori En. Then we'll pay 2 to play Ominous Sea. So when you cast the second spell of each turn, draw a card. So we will draw a card, but Ominous Sea will not see that. Oh, Thrix the Sudden Storm. That'll be good later. Okay, so this is actually a pretty decent hand. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid. Solid to go forward with. We have something to play multiple spells a turn when we need to. And we have removal. We do have stuff to mix up our hand if absolutely need be, if we need to find an answer and we don't have one. And then Thrix will help us kind of make some of our higher cost sea creatures be less. And it seemed pretty thematic to put basically something that was like a huge sea creature, or well, a storm creature in control of stuff, helping out the sea creatures attack people. Okay, so we are going over to Reanimator, untap, draw a card. Tainted Field. So let's think about this. We're not in a position to play multiple spells a turn. Really what we need is draw effects if we can. So let's go ahead and play a swamp. I'm thinking that we go ahead and do Fira here. Judge of Valor, in the hopes that maybe we'll be able to do something like play Ashnod's Altar and then play another thing. So we will attack probably Varolz another time. Kick a Mauler down. We will gain 2 life and then we'll lose a life to draw a card. And it is Soul Ring. So that was unfortunate. Unfortunate timing for us with Fira. We could have gotten Soul Ring out this turn. Oh well. That is all we're going to do for the turn. We are going to pass over to Trostani, who at the end of the turn we're going to go ahead and tap and make a beast. So let's go ahead and find a beast to put down. There we go. Now we are still kind of in big trouble because Varolz could still come out swinging and they still have Rogue's Passage. So until we get our second green mana and be able to destroy the Rogue's Passage, there's not much we can do. So, well, or we could just get Cathar's Crusade because, of course, I mean, why not? Why not Cathar's Crusade? We'll play Grove of the Guardians. Then we'll use Soul Ring and two planes to play Cathar's Crusade. So, that's oh my gosh. I have Secure the Wastes in hand. I have plenty of mana. Oof. It's gonna be super strong here soon. Okay, well, that's all we're gonna do this turn. we don't want to do much attacking. Actually, I guess we don't, well, let's see. Actually, let's go ahead and attack Varolz for 5 damage, because that's starting to put them in dangerous range. They'll be at 29. Basically, when you get to 20 life, you're looking for being picked on until you die. That's how it seems to go with commander games. So we will draw Swamp. Not that amazing. We will play the Swamp. We will... Let's see. How much mana do we have? Do we have enough to... We have enough to play Varolz, but not enough to also play Nature's Claim. So I think what we want to do is go ahead and play Varolz here. Then we will untap a forest to then tap it and cast Nature's Claim on the Cathar's Crusade, because that's no bueno. And of course they will, in response, Trostani will go ahead and get another beast and get an activation out of Cathar's Crusade before it goes away. Okay, so that sort of solves a little bit of things. Oh wait, and I guess we missed the opportunity. I needed to do a level counter, but too late. My own fault. Oh wait, we had... No, we want to get there, but we missed our chance. That's okay though. Okay, there we go. I was like, why did I tap my mana that way? Oh, of course. Actually, did we want to do this? I think we wanted to do this a little bit differently. We didn't need all that mana, because what we will do is we will tap 2 mana and play Pack Rat. So we can start activating that and start, doing things like discarding Apocalypse Demon and such. Okay, that's all we are going to do. It is now Jori En's turn. Let's untap, draw a card, and Sensei's Divining Top. Wow, that's good. Ominous Sea will get 1 counter. We will play an island. Now, do we want to save up for possibly punishing the Varolz in case Varolz tries to do something? And I think the answer is yes. So let's see. How do we want to set aside at least 3 mana for that. So we can't do Mystic Speculation and Sensei's Divining Top this turn, but we can go ahead and play the Divining Top. And I guess that's all we do for the turn. So Sensei's Divining Top with Ominous Seas is going to be really good. Actually, I guess while we're here on our turn, let's go ahead and look at the top 3 cards of our library. Oh, wow. Archipelago. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, the Cloud Keys. I mean, we want all of these, but let's go ahead and do Archipelago on top. Yeah, we'll do it like that. I mean, it doesn't necessarily help us out too much, but the order isn't really that important, other than just putting the island on the bottom, I think. Okay, we will pass on to Reanimator, and they will untap, draw a card, and it is Teshar, Ancestor's Apostle. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a swamp. Let's tap 1 to play Soul Ring. Then we will 1, 2, 3 to play Ashnod's Altar. And what that's going to do is it means that we get an activation from Fira. So whenever we cast our second spell, we look at the top 3 cards of our library, and then we can put one into our hand and the rest into our graveyard. So I think putting Tabarak's Hope's Demise into the graveyard is what we are going to want to do, because we want the Windbrisk Heights. We'll be able to activate it pretty shortly if we need to. Especially because, let's see, it does interplay tapped. I'm trying to think about how we want to do this. I guess we don't, let's see. Let me go ahead and do this because I think we'll use Teshar to get Taparax out. So we'll go ahead and play Teshar now. And then we're going to attack two different players. So I'm not as concerned about, again, it's sort of like you're looking over at the blue guy. He has saved somebody else. And he hasn't done much else. He hasn't been aggressive. He's been really defensive. And that could be because he has a generally mediocre hand. He's been trying to dig a lot. So I'm not like super concerned about him right now. I'm really more concerned about insane creature generation over from the Trostani deck, and I'm also very afraid of Varolz being a total dick. But that being said, Tymna doesn't have a good attack here because Varolz can just sacrifice something to protect itself. Trostani does have a 4/4 beast to block with, and Jori En is a 2/3 creature. So I think we just attack with Fira. Who does Fira go after? Who am I more concerned with? Because Varolz still doesn't have trample, so that's good. But Trostani is dangerous. I think we're going to attack Trostani this turn. I think Trostani is going to take 2 damage in the air because they can't block. And we're going to gain 2 life and then lose a life from Tymna's ability because Fira actually has lifelink. So we're going to draw a card. Hull of Heliod's Generosity. Well, once we actually get an a enchantment that brings things back from the dead, that card's just gonna not be so great. We will pass the turn over to Trostani. Oh, and Cathar's Crusade is destroyed. I forgot about that. And also, we did gain 4 life, so we are at 27 right now. Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. Let's see what we got. Oh, nice. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. We control more than 2 basic lands. Great. That means that we could play Trostani this turn, but honestly, we need to get rid of the Rogue's Passage. So we're going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and play Acidic Slime, and its ability is going to target Rogue's Passage to destroy it, but then also we are going to pay 1 because of Mentor of the Meek, and we will draw a card, which was Grasslands. So now we can start getting some more green mana. That's good. That is useful. That is what we want to see. Oh, and I guess we used our green mana, so we can't power up Kissandu Tuskcaller. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to pass the turn and wait to create another beast. Varolz's turn. Untap. Draw a card. Spiritmonger. Nice. Let's see. I don't think we can activate, so we'll go ahead and play this. 3/4. So unfortunately, we can't do Spiritmonger's ability for Varolz yet. We could arguably discard it with Pack Rat and then use Animate Dead, but I don't know that we're like super egging for that right now. I think what we'll go ahead and do is actually we'll go ahead and discard 2 different cards and we'll make 2 Pack Rats. So we'll get rid of Apocalypse Demon and Spiritmonger, and we'll get 2 copies of Pack Rat, which is good for us because this means that we don't have to discard our ramp creature in order to regenerate Varolz. So there, and now we're starting to get set up for Apocalypse Demon to do something sometime later in the game. But we also have three pack rats, so that's good too. Unfortunately, that's all we're going to do this turn. Okay, so at the end of the turn, I think we want to go ahead and Sensei's Divining Top here, so that we get a counter on Ominous Sea. Then we will untap, draw a card, and we know what it is. 3 counters on Ominous Seas. We will play an island. Let me think. I guess this means that now we could do Archipelagore. I think, do we just do this? We'll do Sensei's Divining Top. Then we will cast Mystic Speculation, which means that we draw a card from Jori En. So we draw our Cloud Key. Then, which means that we put a counter onto Ominous Sea. Then we scry 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave both of these on top of the library, and then we'll put the island on the bottom. More artifact ramp, essentially. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so put this into our hand, and we will... Let's see. I think we just pass the turn. We have a full grip, but we have something that we can do. And our Ominous Seas is definitely chugging along to that 8 that we need for an 8/8 blue Kraken. Okay, Reanimator time. Well, sort of Reanimator time. Not quite yet. Okay, untap, upkeep, draw a card. It is Mangara of Corridor. So, I think we do Windburst Kites into play tapped. So let's go ahead and look at the top 4 cards of our library. Yeah, 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. That's... Oh. Well, we have Yawgmoth's Vile Offering to get Elspeth out of the graveyard and onto the battlefield. Yawgmoth Thran Physician is so good, though, and Buried Alive, we're getting rid of, like, all of the good cards that I want to keep. I guess let's do Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, because being able to return something at instant speed is going to be really good. So those go on the bottom. That's still tapped. Let's see. We could really wreck the board right now, but there is 3 mana open on the blue side, so probably not. Let's think about this. What mana do we have to play around with? So I'm thinking that maybe what we do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cast our other commander here. So we'll play Ravos. And because we played a legendary spell, or a historic spell, I should say, we do get Tabarax, Hope's Demise. So does that give us the ability to do anything? I don't think so. I mean, we could do Ruinous Blast literally right now. That would absolutely clear the board. It'd put a lot of pressure on other players, and I'm kind of wondering if that's what I need to do. Oh, man. This is such a good card. It would get rid of Sensei's... Well, they won't get rid of Sensei's Divining Top, but it will get rid of Ominous Seas, which will be a problem later. Let's go ahead and risk it. Let's see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sacrifice Tabarax, which doesn't really I mean, we're not getting rid of a cleric. Well, I mean, we could get rid of a cleric. Maybe that's what we do, actually. Maybe we keep Tabarax. So we'll keep Tabarax. We'll sacrifice our Teshar. In order to get 2 mana from Ashnod's Altar, we will tap 2 more mana to play Urza's Ruinous Blast. And let's go ahead and see if there's a counterspell. So we do not have a counterspell. Do we do anything else? Do we Chaos Warp? See, I'm afraid that doing Chaos Warp right now will mean something. Oh, and we do get... Let's see, we get 2 other triggers on top of that. Because we get Fira. And we also get Tabarax. Because we'll draw a card. So we'll actually draw 2 cards from this. Do we cast anything? And I think the answer is no here. I think that all we do is we just protect our Sensei's Divining Top by drawing a card. And this will go up to 5. Unfortunately, so let's see. Let's go and do Fira first. And then, so we'll put Tabarax on the stack after Urza's Ruinous Blast. Oh, no, wait, that's part of the... Let's see. Oh, yeah, so the trigger will happen, but the triggered ability doesn't go onto the stack until... No, wait, because... Let's see. Ashnod's Altar is a mana ability to pay for a cost. So it's at faster than instant speed. So we do Tabarax's after. So we're going to do Fira first. So we look at the top 3 cards. Then we'll do Tabarax. So Tabarax goes on top of Urza's Ruinous Blast and then Fira's. And then Sensei's Divining Top that we just resolved. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, obviously I'm going to put Sheldred into my hand. We get rid of Ashnod's Altar and our own Soul Ring, unfortunately, but that's okay. So we'll draw a card from Tabarax, and we lose a life for that. So this is down to 2 here. Okay. So Urza's Ruinous Blast is really devastating. Trostani loses a ton of things. This is exiled. Is this even exiled? No, that's not exiled. Okay. But we're going to get Sheldred next turn, so, I mean, it's kind of a... Why wouldn't you do that? Let's see. This is gone. We do not have a Soul Ring. Let's just see what everybody else has that's non-legendary. So these guys are all dead. These guys are all gone. Trostani is going to have to rethink her entire life now. Oof. So many good cards. Sorry, Trostani. Okay, we're just mana now. Ouch. And over here, we're going to go ahead and actually, before Urza's Ruinous Blast, we're going to sacrifice creatures so they don't disappear forever, and then we'll lose the other pack rats. So at least Varolz has a regeneration shield, so that's good. So going back over to the Reanimator deck. Let's see. I think Tabarax got... Yeah, we got a +1/+1 counter on here. That was what I did, right? Yes, Cleric. Okay. Okay, attacks now. So we're only going to attack twice. Tymna is going to attack Trostani, and Fira is going to attack... I think they attack... I think Varolz, really. I mean, I want to... At some point, I'm going to attack the the Sea Monster deck, but for now, we're just going to keep taking down the players that have some life taken down and have also proven themselves to be dangerous. So we're going to gain 4 life and then lose 2 life to draw 2 cards. So we're at 44 life. Actually, no, we gain 2 more life because of Ravos giving more +1/+1 power to them. So we're going to draw 2 cards, and that gives us Tithe and Reassembling Skeleton. We have such a big hand to get rid of. So we're going to go ahead and dump Kuro Pit Lord. And we still have 8 cards in hand, so let's go ahead and get rid of Obnig Zealot. Well, actually, yeah, we'll do Obnig Zealous. Okay, so that means that we have some sacrifice fodder if we need to, which we lost Ashnod's Altar, unfortunately, and we put Yawgmoth on the bottom of our library, but that'll be okay. We have Yawgmoth's Vile Offering to look forward to next turn. So we are going to pass the turn pretty solidly in the lead now. And definitely crippled a couple of players. So, draw a card. Windbrisk Heights. Not really what I want to see. I think we get Trostani out now. I think that's what we need to do, is get Trostani, and we can start gaining life and trying to salvage what we've lost. We'll put Grasslands into play tapped and pass the turn. So, what does Varolz have up their sleeve? That's the question. What kind of chaos can they create here? Draw a card, Woodland Cemetery. Not a lot. Not as much as I was hoping. Let's do Woodland Cemetery. Do we do 5 here to exile, to scavenge, I should say? Or do we do this first to get rid of that? Oh, Rogue's Passage is totally destroyed. Ooh, interesting. That was destroyed a while back, and I absolutely messed up a little bit with that. So I shouldn't have been able to do... I should still have this Spiritmonger in my hand from discarding. Because I discarded twice when I shouldn't have been able to, because I messed that up. Okay, so... let's see. Yeah, I think this is what we do. Let's see. What does this have? What is it? Equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to do this for the Myriad. And it has to be 2 of the same type. 2 basic lands that share a type. So let's do 2 forests. Forest is normally good. I don't think we generally need too many swamps for this deck to make it function, but there's tons of other cards that need green, and being able to play multiple green spells in a turn is typically pretty good. So getting 2 forests, and we are going to Ghost Quarter the Windbrisk Heights over on the other side there. Okay, let me finish shuffling real quick. You can probably hear me just barely on the microphone as I furiously shuffle. Ghost Quarter, destroy the Windburst Heights. And we will do nothing else this turn, unfortunately. I would like to do something else, but can't. Can't or won't. Won't, can't, either, both. Okay. Untap. Draw a card. Sensei's Divining Top. Let's do 1/2. Izzet Signet. Let's do 3 for Cloud Key, naming creatures. Then we will draw a card from Jori En. Worn Power Stone. Then we will, I think we just go ahead and discard the Winds of Change. I mean, it would, the reason for these cards in here is because it's really easy for sea creatures to bounce other players' creatures to their hand. So essentially what the idea here is that you let's see. Yeah, this Archipelago doesn't, but some of the other sea creatures do. You play it, so that it bounces everybody's cards to their hand, and then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, winds of change. Now all of your creatures are shuffled into your library. It tends to work out really well. But that's what we're going to do for the turn. Well, we don't want to attack. We're just going to leave Jori En up. Okay, so Windbrisk Heights is destroyed. This is exiled face down. We do get a basic land to replace it. We're going to go ahead and get a plains to replace it. Let's go and do that right there, which actually is good for us because it means that we kind of shuffle in some of our other cards. Okay. I mean, like, Yawgmoth was on the bottom, basically. So now we have a chance that it might end up not on the bottom. Okay, we shuffled... No, stop that. What is that? Okay. I'll just stick it in there. I have no idea what it is. Okay, untap. Upkeep. We return a creature card from our graveyard to our hand. Let's go ahead and return Audric to our hand. Because that's going to be really good here soon. Let's see. So that was during our upkeep. For our draw, we get this Nezumi Grave Robber. Nice. That's especially nice with just Cathar's Crusade over there. Okay, so we're going to play this. I would like to play Audric this turn, but most likely we just want to get Sheldred out. So that's 5/7 mana. Let's see. This, I think that's 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 7 mana for Sheldred. Boom. And then we are going to tap one more for Tithe. So we are going to do Tithe, and the reason I'm doing it here is we don't really need the mana, but if we get a Plains card into our hand, then we keep our hand full, essentially, and Fira is going to draw us a card for playing 2 spells in a turn. We're going to take the Anguish Unmaking and put those lands into our graveyard. So let's search our library for a Plains and put it into our hand. So we are going to look for, let's see, any Plains. Yeah, any Plains. So I think we're just going to, no, we don't have a special, like a super special one. Oh, that was good. Let's see. Maybe we're just getting a regular Plains. I'm probably passing by a dual land here. But that's kind of okay. So I think I'm just passing by what's probably a dual land. So let's go and grab that. Okie dokie. Now we can attack multiple players in a single turn. Done shuffling. There we go. We want to draw 3 cards this turn, so I think Tymna is going to be the one that sits back on this one. So we won't gain as much life this turn, but we are going to, let's see, 5 more counters, so we don't have 5 more counters. Okay. We are going to deal, we're going to attack 3 different players. I think Ravos is going to attack over at the sea creature stack, but then these other 2 are going to attack the Trostani and Varolz. So Varolz, I think, will take the Tabarrak's damage, just because I want to make sure that they stay down. Let's see. Now the question is, does Jori En do something about... See, I think the Chaos Warp, we wait to take out Sheldred instead of... which kind of sucks because we want it for Varolz, really. for like really dangerous stuff, but Sheldred is going to get way out of hand, and Chaos Warp is going to take care of that, at least somewhat. Okay, so we're going to go at, let's see. So Firo is going to deal 3 damage over to Trostani, and Tabarak's is going to deal 4 damage, putting them down to 23. Trostani is at 22. And then the Sea Creatures deck, the Deep Down, Dark Deep Down, finally takes damage, and they are at 38. And we are going to gain 3 life and then lose 3 life to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, that's so good. we got our Necromancy. So now we can start doing Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Let's see now. What do we... So we've resolved everything else, so now we need to discard for the turn. So we're definitely going to discard those 2 guys. I think we... I mean, I don't think I want to discard Buried Alive yet. So I think that just means Mangara, and we need 1 more card. Let's go ahead and say... I guess just more of the creatures. I really want to play Audric, so I think we're just going to hold him on our hand and get rid of everything else. Audric is going to be so sweet here short. Audric, what it does is it means that everybody of my cards get all of the abilities that everybody else has. So everybody will have Flying and Lifelink. And then when I get, let's see, Omnixilus gives Trample. And I guess I don't have too much else here. But yeah, it's stuff like that. They can, Elshnorn giving Vigilance. That's going to be great. Okay. That's all of the punishment that we can do in a single turn. So... Trostani's going to go and sadly sacrifice Trostani because I don't think they can make a creature. Oh, no, wait, they can. So they untap for the turn. We're going to go ahead and I think we're just going to pile pretty much everything in. We're going to, during our upkeep, we're going to, let's go and find a forest or plains here. We're just going to find a dual land. We have plenty of them. So here's Savannah. So we will shuffle up real quick, and we will secure the wastes for a lot so that we can try to just... What it'll mean is that we can play Windbrisk Heights this turn and hopefully be able to activate it with Secure the Wastes next turn. So we'll generate enough creatures to make sure that we can activate Windbrisk Heights, and it also maybe means that we will get to do Grove of the Guardian as well. Okay, so that's enough shuffling. Let's do this. So, Secure the Wastes. We will get a warrior. Do we even have a warrior? And I don't know that we do, honestly. I think we need to get warriors. I think we're using soldiers for it. So I'll pull out a soldier just in case. Oh no, there we go. There's a warrior. So soldier back in. Doop doop. Okay, we are going to secure the wastes for x equals 6. So we get 6 of these guys, and then we have to sacrifice 1, so that's 5. But we still gained 6 life, so we are up to 28 with Trostani. We'll draw a card for the turn, Fortified Village. We will play Windbrisk Heights and just hope that there's... Oh my gosh. Yep, that's it. Worldspine Worm, that's going on. That's going under. We're getting Worldspine Worm next turn. Okay, well, that's that. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to pass. We don't have anything better to do. Okay, unfortunately, Varolz, I don't believe, has any method for getting rid of this madness. So they're going to draw. Well, they're going to untap. Then during their upkeep, they have to sacrifice a creature. And I think that they just sacrifice... Well, so what I'm thinking about is I do have Animate Dead in hand. I could bring Varolz back. But I don't have any haste ability. I still need to get rid of Sheldred somehow. So maybe I go ahead and leave it into... Well, no. If my graveyard gets exiled, then I can do something about it. Like, I'll put it into the command zone then, but otherwise, just do it there. Draw forest. We'll go and play that forest. And probably... I guess we're going to go and play Spiritmonger so that it's at least a deterrent. So, like, somebody doesn't attack me. I still have to sacrifice it next turn, but that's okay. As long as it's a good blocker that can regenerate. And actually, to fortify that up a little bit more, we're going to switch this up here, like this. Okay, so that means that it's going on to Jori En's turn, and they're going to go ahead and fire off the Chaos Warp on Sheldred. There's nothing better for that. So Chaos Warp on Sheldred. Sheldred is going to shuffle in. We don't have a sacrifice effect, so it just goes into the library. Let's see what happens here. I want you to see, like, I do shuffle these at least pretty well anyway. It's a little bit easier with Sheldred because we have so many cards in our graveyard already. If we get hit by a single graveyard removal spell, we're just totally screwed. At this point, we've done so much. And honestly, I'm really impressed with Fira, Judge of Valor. I've been like really concerned because I built the budget deck with her on stream a couple months ago now. And the game with it seemed really good. It seemed like it does a really good job, honestly. But still, it's like, okay, but it can't really compete with other things, right? Well, actually, I'm really liking it in this build, honestly. Okay, so that's enough shuffling. What is our Chaos Warp? Our Chaos Warp is Loyal Retainers. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're getting Hellish Norn regardless now. Untap. Upkeep, draw a card, and it is Crush of Tentacles. That's a good card. That's a really good card, honestly. Do we... All non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Do we... I think we may want to set behind the deck. Let's say tap 1. We'll play Sensei's Divining Top. Then we are going to go ahead and Crush Tentacles. So we do... This is 4 and 5. Is that how we do it? So yeah, we Crush of Tentacles, which will give us an 8/8, but it'll mean that all of their spells are returned, like everybody's stuff gets returned to their hand. So we will, and we get an 8/8 as well. So an 8/8 Octopus. Yeah. Octopus. Let's see how we want to draw this. Do. I need to practice my artistic ability here. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more Scary Arms. Let's see. There we go. Just a little bit of detail. Just a tiny bit so you can, like, kind of think that maybe it's a octopus. Okay. There we go. That's good enough. 8/8 octopus. We returned everything to their owner's hands. Let's see. We have 8 cards in hand. Actually, no, 9 cards because this got returned to our hand. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Interesting. Let's go ahead and replay the Signet. We're going to have to discard a card. And I really like having Archipelagor and Thrix the Sudden Storm and such. So I think that means that we discard the Molten Psyche and we're just not going to take advantage of it too much. I think we still have maybe 1 or 2 other cards that kind of do similar things, but since we haven't really been drawing the other parts for that kind of combo, so to speak, we're just going to leave it where it is. Okay, so with the Reanimator deck, we had to bump everything back to our hand, unfortunately. All of this stuff goes back to our hand. So we will untap, and we really need to take stock of what we can do in a single turn here. So we got a swamp. So we definitely want to play the Loyal Retainers. So that's 3 mana right there. We have 5 left. What else do we play? Do we play Necromancy? What do we have? So we can get 2 creatures from our graveyard this turn. What do we get? Do we get Kuro? And do we get Kuro and Elish Norn? Maybe that's what we do. Because Kuro can definitely help out with a lot here. I think maybe that's what... Well, we get this, so we can play 2 cards. I forgot about that we needed to play a land. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... We're sacrificing Loyal Retainers to get Elish Norn. That's 3 mana. Then we will pay 3 more mana to cast... what is it? Necromancy. And that will give us Kuro. So that'll... Basically, Kuro is something that we can sacrifice next turn if we need to. It will be really, really damaging, though, if we keep it out. So we may end up trying to pay to keep it out. Now we need 3 more mana to play something. Do we play... I think we go ahead and play Taperax. So what we'll do is... Let's see how much mana we have. So we can do this much mana for Kuro next turn and then pay 4 mana in order to get... Oh, and we do get... We played a land this turn, so we do get Bloodghast onto the battlefield. I mean, not that that's really a big deal right now, but... Okay, so we still have 10 cards in hand, which means that we're going to discard a couple of things, but I think we can manage with that. I think that's not a deal breaker. So basically what I mean is, well, we have Audric still in our hand. So next turn we can play Audric and get everything flying and vigilance. So that's gonna be game unless somebody can do something about it. So let's see, what do we do next? We can't attack this turn. We just have to take. We just have to discard and go on. So we'll drop Fira. And then we need to drop 1 more card. So let's think. I kind of want to keep all the cards in my hand. So I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of the planes. It's a little dangerous, but High Market and Hall of Heliod's Generosity will be really good if we can start comboing with it. So I think that's what we'll do. Now this also means that we are able to do something. Like we keep some of the other cards off our back. So the Octopus is only a 6/6 now. So, okay, untap. Did we have any artifacts? No, they didn't get returned. So we just get Trostani and lose our warriors. That's sucky. Trostani is not having a great game here. Draw a card. It's a forest. We'll play it. Then we will play... we need to play Trostani, so... Let's do Trostani with these 4, and then we will pay 3 more for Yavi Maya Elder. So we're going to play Trostani first and then Yavi Maya Elder, which means that we get, I guess, just 1 life from that. Because it's equal to toughness. So we just have a land in hand. At least we can get Grove of the Guardian activated next turn. We can start populating. So that's a good thing. But we're in sore need of some card draw. So, untap. This is returned to my hand. We draw a card for the turn. It's a swamp, ouch. So we will pay 5. And actually, do we do... This is a weird thought. I don't know what I just said. Did I say swamp? I think I just said swamp. Swamp. Okay, I think, actually, weirdly enough, we're going to do this. We're going to pay 2, and we are going to animate dead on... No, wait, we don't want to do that. We can't. Oh, crap. Herger. Because we don't have another animate, we'll just lose our ability to get Varolz out. I guess we just do Spirit Monger again. Oh, wait. Yavi Maya Elder automatically dies. Do we want to do that? No, we don't. We're not going to pay for Yavi Maya Elder. Crap. Oh, that's sucky. I keep forgetting about Elish Norn. Okay, well, that's all we're doing this turn. So, it is now the Octopus turn. Let's go and untap. Draw a card for the turn. It is a mountain. That's cool. So, let's go and play that mountain. Then we will... I think we just try to dig here. I think that's what we want to do. So we're going to do this right here. We'll pay 3. Well, do we pay... Maybe we do Cloud Key. So let's go ahead and do Cloud Key, actually. So we're going to name creatures, which means that it costs 1 less for Jori En. Or do we do... No. Oh, crap. We don't get the card draw this turn if we do it that way. Okay, so I guess we are doing Cloud Key afterwards. So we're doing that. Jori En, Cloud Key for creatures. We draw a card from Jori En. It survives because it's a 2/3. Ouch. Okay, so then we... Do we Mystic Speculation here? I think we Mystic Speculation. We want to try to dig for a big sea creature at this point. So, Scry 3, 1, 2, 3, Tromacus... Tromocratus, which is still saying it wrong, but that's okay. Okay, we will leave that on top, and 8/8 is going to be really good. So there, and do we do anything else? We don't do anything else, I think. Yeah, because if we try to attack with the octopus, we're just going to lose. So we are going to pass the turn, and I think this means, let me think, do we pay life to get rid of creatures? Because I'm kind of thinking that maybe we do at the end of the turn. Vote now if you think that I should try to win the game. Let me think. Let's go ahead and just pay 6 life, and we're going to kill the octopus. Bye-bye, octopus. No more, unfortunately. Do we pay more life to... Because we're going to just gain a bunch of life here soon. How much life does it take to kill everything else? 4 and 7 and 8. I think we're going to just go and do that. We're going to get rid of everybody's creatures. So all of the creatures are dead. Now, untap. Draw a card. City of Brass. Okay, sure. Let's see. We have... the upkeep. We already said that we were paying for to keep Kuro out. So, we have... We don't have quite enough to do Audric and something. So I think we're going to play Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Then we're going to go ahead and play... Because I would like to play Tymna, but we don't have enough mana to. So we are going to play Audric, though. And Audric is going to give everybody that we have Flying and Vigilance. So, can we kill a player this turn? And what player would be a player to kill? Now, it's presumably going to be Trostani or Varolz. But let's count how much damage we're actually doing first, and then we'll see. So Taborax is 4, and Bloodghast is another 4, so 8, then 12, and let's see. 12 by itself, 11, 33 damage. That's almost enough to kill off. See, what I'm thinking here is that, well, I don't know. I guess killing off everybody until we get to... I'm just really concerned about the blue deck being able to bounce everything again. So I think I'm going to try to almost finish them off in a single attack. Trostani has access to spot removal, especially exile spot removal, which would be really bad. But there's not much we can do about that. Oh, and that may mean that instead of Hall of Heliod's Generosity... It's too late now. We already made a mistake. We could have done High Market to help protect against that. It's too late now. Okay, so... I said 33 damage. 12 here plus 11. 33. So that means that they are down to... they're at 38, 33, 5 life. So basically, now... it will take very few creatures to kill the Jori En deck. Because I can one-shot any of the other players at this point. And this also puts me a little bit in good graces, meaning that I'm not killing off a player when I rightly could, essentially. So we are going to pass the turn. And next time we have something we can... next time we have mana, we'll play Tymna and give everything lifelink through Audric. So that's assuming, of course, that Audric sticks around, but it may not really matter. Okay, so untap, draw a card. Selesnya Eulogist. So that is a cool card, but unfortunately there's not much we can use it for. It survives, but the moment we play it and pass the turn is when it dies. So we pretty much just play a land and pass, unfortunately, because we don't have anything strong enough to survive long enough to do anything. We needed, Trostani. They just have so much life that we can't do much about it, unfortunately. Okay, so now it's Varolz's turn, and Varolz is going to draw a card, and it's Fertile Ground. Perfect. We're going to play a swamp and then cry a little, because there's nothing we can do. Pass. So, Jori En's turn. Let's see. Untap. Keep. Draw a card. It is Tremakis. We play an island. Now the question is, do we have enough to Archipelagore? Because we can tap up to X creatures where X is the times this is mutated. Oh. Blah. That is very unfortunate. I think that we are screwed. They'll kill the creature underneath the Archipelagore. We won't get the thing. I mean, maybe we just try to anyway. How much mana do we have? So this is enough to cast the Storm guy. This is enough to cast the Archipelagore. Maybe we just try to drain them for as much life as we can. So this is Thrix. Then we only need 5, I believe, for Archipelagore, because it's normally 6. So we're going to try to mutate, but they're going to pay 3 life, putting them down to 29 in order to kill the Thrix underneath. So, yeah. We have 1 mana left. I guess we just play the Sensate's Divining Top. I guess maybe the smarter move would be to Sensate's Divining Top. Oh, well. I think we're dead. I think Legendary Reanimator has made it this game again. Oh, okay. So untap. During our upkeep, we have to pay 4 black to keep Kuro, and that is absolutely what we're going to do. We will do that. Draw a card for the turn. Oh my gosh, Kokusho. We'll play High Market. Then we will play... I guess if we play Tymna, can we play anything else in our hand? So we could play Anguished Unmaking. We could also play Buried Alive. We need to get out Tymna, so let's go ahead and play Tymna for the lifelink. Let's see now. What do we do? I mean, Kokusho seems like the card to play next turn since we'll have High Market. Do we play anything right now? And I'm kind of thinking that we just hold back. I don't know that there's really a big thing that we can do. Hall of Heliod's Generosity could always get us a card if we had an enchantment in our graveyard, but we don't. Okay, so that's all we're going to do. We have Tymna. Now everything we have has Vigilance, Flying, and Lifelink. So we are going to... let's see. So Audric is enough to kill the Jori En deck. Do we have enough to kill somebody else? So yes, we do, because this is still 33 damage. So we're going to take out the Trostani deck, and Audric is going to take out the Jori En. So now it is just down to Varolz and Legendary Reanimator. So let's see. Let's see what they... Oh, wait, and we attacked 2 players, so we're going to... We gain a ridiculous amount of life. Sorry, I need to actually think about this. 33 plus 5, 38 life. So we're just going to grab a couple more dice here and say 38... Oh, wait. That's that. Then we pay 2 life to draw 2 cards. So let's see. What cards do we have? We have Rhea Dawnbringer. Because of course we do. Thank you, Rhea Dawnbringer. Okay. Okay, Trostani is dead. Unfortunately, never got the World Spine Worm. Just totally got shut down and then never recovered, unfortunately. I mean, we drew a bunch of land. Our first hand had no land, and this hand apparently had all of the land. So I don't know what's going on there. Just an unfortunate coincidence, I think. Okay, so we're going to set this off to the side, and we're going to trade places with Varolz deck. I don't think it really matters, but just in case, I like to play things out a little bit if possible. So that's our hand. This is our lands. So we will draw a card for the turn. Abyssal Persecutor. I mean, of course, Abyssal Persecutor. I mean, that's going to win us the game, right? Oh, wait. It says we can't win the game. Sure. Let's go ahead and tap 2, and we will play Animate Dead and get Varolz out. And then we will... I don't know. Well, let's go and do... this here. We'll do Fertile Ground. Now we have no cards in hand. Oh, you mean that Varolz dies automatically? Yeah. Okay, well, apparently that's unfortunate. And then they're going to pay... What are you saying? They're going to pay 4 life and kill off Abyssal Persecutor? Hey, I can win the game again, guys. Isn't that good? Oh, wait, this is tapped. Well, I did say Varolz is a powerful deck. I didn't say it was the most powerful. I just said it was powerful. Untap. Upkeep. We pay 4. Draw a card. We have Phyrexian Tower. Let's go ahead and play that. Phyrexian Tower is going to... Let's see. Is there... I mean, we can't really get any other abilities. I don't know. Let's go ahead and... Do we want to sacrifice Bloodghast? I mean, we could just cast... Let's just go and pay 5 and cast Ravos Soul Tinder so that everything gets another +1/+1. and we'll attack all out against the Varolz deck for, this is now 5. This is also 5. So 10, 15 plus 12, 37. 37 plus 6 is 43. And then another, let's see, 43 plus 5. So 48 damage total. That's pretty good, isn't it? Right? Does that win games? I've heard it wins games if you do that. If you smack somebody in the face for more than they have life, I think that normally means you win. Oh, that was really good. That was a good game. I liked that. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next. I'm always happy to hear ideas, but let me think. I'm kind of tempted to do something weird like play 4 red decks all at the same time because I can do that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can cook up for some other games. They may be really wacky ones that are absolutely lopsided. They also could be really powerful games. I'm not really sure at this point, but there you go. That's Guild Wars. That's the end of it. I think we're going to go ahead and probably close up for the night. So thank you all for watching. And if you're still here, I really appreciate you watching. And you can always let me know. You can always chat to me and we can talk about Magic or something else. I'm sure people like to talk about Elden Ring, that's for sure. But, just catch me. The next game will be, let's see, it'll be Sunday probably. If I'm feeling up to it, we'll play Sunday, and then we'll come back again on Wednesday with just something random, some random game, I guess. But Sundays are the days that we do kind of beginner games. So if you're looking to kind of learn Magic or learn about Magic and see if it's something that you want to play, Sunday is a great time to come and watch because that's pretty much what we focus on. I have 10 different beginner decks to kind of use to teach Magic, so I'm happy to answer questions there and such like that. Otherwise, you all have a great night. Bye-bye.